The abduction of Travis Walton took place just outside the Mormon town of Snowflake, in the mountains of northern Arizona. In the twilight of the evening, on November 5th, 1975, Travis was not alone. After a long day of felling trees with 6 other loggers, the whole crew piled into a hardscrabble truck with 4-wheel drive, and they were heading home. The truck stopped when the men saw an object shaped like a saucer, hovering over the ground about 100 feet off the road. It was heard to emit a throbbing noise, like the sound of machinery. Only Walton was brave enough to get out of the truck for a closer look. The disc was glowing red and gold, like molten metal. The others watched him nervously, calling him back to the truck. Then they saw him stricken by a bolt of energy issuing from the craft, which lifted him off his feet before he collapsed back to the ground. In a state of panic, the other men fled. By the time they had reached Snowflake, they decided they had better tell the sheriff that they believed Travis Walton to be deceased. This is how they became suspects in his disappearance. While Travis was still missing, his co-workers were given lie detector tests, and all of them passed. In the opinion of the president of the American Polygraph Association, these 6 witnesses were telling the truth. When Travis regained consciousness, he was in pain. He saw artificial light overhead and thought he was in a hospital. At first he was lightheaded and gasping for air, which he believed to be the result of injury. But his lungs were adapting to the oxygen-poor atmosphere, which was not maintained for the benefit of human beings. He was inside a chamber in the saucer. Then he saw what had abducted him. 3 beings, none over 5 feet in height, with large heads and large eyes without lids, with irises that opened and closed rapidly, as if blinking internally. They were as hairless as a mole rat. The color of their uniforms was orange. Travis pushed away the closest one. He was surprised when he felt no muscle, only a layer of fat. He rolled off the examination table, and in order to defend himself from another table, he grabbed a foreign instrument. It was a transparent cylinder the size of a club, and he swung it through the air in front of the creatures. They retreated through the open door. Travis wanted to leave too. Outside the door was an empty, narrow hall, which he followed to the next doorway. This led to a larger chamber, which looked empty, except for a single chair in the center. As he approached the chair, the room grew darker, and star charts appeared on the ceiling and the walls. His exploration was interrupted when another being entered the room. This one looked human. The humanoid was wearing a uniform of the same cut as his captors, except that it was colored blue. Without saying a word, the collaborator took Walton by the arm and granted his wish by leading him off the ship. The vessel was no longer in the forest. As Travis descended the steep external ramp attached to the ship, he saw other vessels of the same kind. He was in a hangar full of saucers. Travis was confronted by 2 more mute humanoids in blue uniforms. One of them was female. the woman had in her hand what looked like an oxygen mask. He thought it meant for helping him to breathe. But as he desperately inhaled, he began to feel weak, and for the second time, he lost consciousness. When again Travis woke up, he was face down on the side of a road paved with asphalt, 12 miles from where he was abducted, and 5 days later. That Walton himself believed that he had been aboard a UFO was confirmed by polygraph. This was also the conclusion of Dr. James Harder from the University of California, after Mr. Walton submitted to a series of hypnotic regressions at his hand.